The biggest thing you saw today was Pete Hegseth, Matt, as you saw the Secretary of Defense Hegseth call out Fox News and said right there, they're the worst at trying to always promote the forever wars. Now they're making up all this stuff. You got to go on a massive manhunt for yellow cake. Oh, excuse me, I mean other nuclear material. President Trump did a total annihilation, a total obliteration. The 12-day war is over. President Trump is pivoting back to other issues he's got. And this thing is done. And that's why they're losing their mind, because they had to have not just a forever war, but they had to have regime change to be able to justify the Netanyahu regime. We should have regime change. I've argued this. We should have regime change. I think the regime change we should be looking for is in Jerusalem.
There certainly is an interesting dynamic playing out with President Trump coming to the defense of Prime Minister Netanyahu as Netanyahu prepares to face a trial.
But that's not really a defense. The Washington Post story that they put out of Jerry C. and these guys blew a hole in Netanyahu's government. They were running around. They couldn't refute it. He put out one tweet that said, "Oh, it's nonsense." They were panicked because they showed the whole fake urgency and how they tried to game the process here. Also, there were videos, I guess on a Sunday, that showed Netanyahu dancing or celebration that put the really upset, my understanding is upset the White House and other people in the national security community. So Bibi has put a huge pressure on President Trump. As you can see, that thing was so over the top. It's being dismissed, but and you saw from New York City.
I think it's part of the deal, Steve. I think it's all part of the deal. I think that Netanyahu was well on his way to executing the supreme leader, throwing Iran into chaos, having tens of millions of war refugees washing across the Middle East. Israel, of course, wasn't going to take any of them. And then Trump sort of made a deal, the Ayatollahs hide for Bibis, and defends Bibi in this matter in Israel, while at the same time not getting us involved in a regime change war. I do want to get to the point you made about the foreign agent investigation. You've called on it as it relates to Levin, but you've made an even more sweeping call. You have said that Fox News may be acting at the behest of a foreign government. I don't suppose you're suggesting it's Australia. So for my audience, will you just connect the dots, how you believe Fox News is acting at the behest of a foreign government?
Well, you saw, I mean, and Pete Hegseth called out Griffin today when she was trying to make the case, oh, you basically need to put in Dev Group 6 to look for this additional material. He called him out and said, you guys are the worst. Fox News has just been a cheerleader. Look, just like they were cheerleaders for the Iraq War and for the extension in Afghanistan, I mean, it's the Iraq War playbook. They had Ukraine, but as you know, through your good offices and others, we shut down the Ukraine nonsense, at least to the degree it could be shut down. McConnell lost his leadership over it. And now they are very focused on Israel in an Israel-Persian or Israel-Iran war. President Trump said, hey, it's 12 days and it's over because I totally obliterated the nuclear power, all the capabilities. And so it's at the behest of the Israel First crowd. And that's Levin's the worst, but by far not the only at Fox News. They never put on a counter argument. I just think there ought to be an investigation. Are they dealing directly with foreign intelligence services? Are they dealing with foreign political parties? Where are they getting their talking points? How much communication is going? I mean, the American people should be able to know this because it's so over the top as to be. And anytime you mention any criticism, they lose it. Like Levin, I mean, look, we don't get into throwing out toys out of the pram. We're just saying, hey, Tel Aviv, Levin, and these guys have lost. The president couldn't be clearer. The 12-day war is over. He obliterated the nuclear, both the scientific capability and the industrial production, which is actually harder. It's over, and it's time to pivot and to focus on more important things. I might note, Matt, as I was doing the show this morning, to show how relentless they are. They had a breaking news that Pakistan is now, they believe, the intelligence service believes Pakistan is working on an ICBM that it could have intercontinental, but you can't make it up, right? As soon as Trump shuts down the window on one, they say they may have an ICBM capability for the United States because you always know Israel's next target was always Pakistan. So it's just ludicrous now. The centrifugal force or the gravitational force of CENTCOM has sucked us into so much of this. It's now time to pivot to Asia, to the Pacific, the Three Island Chain, the hemispheric defense that President Trump has set up from Greenland all the way to the Panama Canal and up to the Arctic. And it's time to get, I think, readjust the defense appropriations to really focus on hemispheric defense.